Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, whatever it is where you're from. We are here. We're going to do another Brewing with the Boys. This time we got main man Nino. I know you've seen him in the Discord, you've seen him on the Facebook pages all over the place. He's a big supporter of the community and all that. He and I have been back and forth a whole lot in the last few weeks on Green Gogeta. So that's the one that we're going to try and mess with tonight. I figure what we'll do first is we'll jump in and let him talk about his list and what, reasons he chose certain things and all that kind of stuff. So we will pop up with your list and I will let you take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Nino here. Gogeta GT from that set is a very interesting deck, I think. Um, it's green, so we know that green is not like so good right now, but I truly believe that next set green is gonna get really, really good. So don't sleep on it. This is my list. As I tested quite a lot. I like to test these archetypes with all the cards it has in the set. If there are promos, I like to test all the promos too and add some tech choices. And after some games, I cook what is not working for me and just add what works for me. So as you can see, I have at four almost everything from the main set. You see the 8 drop Gogeta, the 6 drop Gogeta, because I think this is the way I play. I like to focus on these big bosses, right? I have also the 6 drop Gogeta and Goku for the fusions because as you can see in my list, I don't have the Goku. I don't see any good value for the energy I'm paying for the Gokus, right? This is something that I observed and is doesn't go with my playstyle.
Yeah.
I like Vegeta better because Vegeta is better than Goku.
Always, exactly.
Yeah. So Vegeta, you pay one and you get a critical, or you pay one and you get a KO something. So I think that is a lot of value from those cards. I have the at four also the cantrips, the Goku and the Vegeta, because you need to draw a lot. This is
Yeah.
something good about this deck is that you draw quite a lot, and maybe you can think that you don't have enough hand, but you have to charge all combo. You have to combo when charging in your state energy, and that is an extension of your hand. It's something that maybe people doesn't realize what the value is on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna spend.
Also,
You're
when
gonna
I'm
end up
talking with
charging
the
like you.
yeah,
Like, that's kind of like the big thing about the floodgate is that you don't want to negate all the attacks because you want to go to combo step because you want to be able to charge to play all your stuff.
yeah, exactly. It's something about that's something that you said is very valuable on the leader too, because the leader on the front side is only 5k, right?
Yeah.
So you need to combo, but if you combo, you don't take damage, right? Because you'll be 15. First turns, the leader is at 10, so you won't take damage, but you need to take damage to go down in life, right? So it's something good that the front side of the leader is 5k. Since when you attack, you gain 5k boost, so it's like a normal leader on your turn. So
Yep.
it's nothing bad. There's nothing bad on it, really. Okay, what do we have here also? Okay, we have the surprise attack freezer is one of my favorite green cards. I think I have it in almost any of my green decks
Yep.
because it's an extra attack. It's a critical. Uh, it's free.
Yep.
The only thing I don't like is the combo cost, but okay. So I have it at two, I think. And well, we have these two choices. Maybe I'm jumping ahead of your list, but this is an inspiration from that I took from your video. This is the Red Vegeta VR and the
Oh yeah.
Dispo. These two cards helps to recycle the most valuable things in the deck. One, the Vegeta recycles your super combo. It's so you have like six super combos in this deck,
Yep.
or seven super combos. And if you need it, you can recycle your Gojitas, if the other Gojitas, the 8 drops and the 6 drops if you need
Yeah.
it. But mostly you are going to use it for the super combos. And the dispo is for recycle the 1 drops.
Yep.
The 1 drops that allows you to make this evolve the 3 drops and the 4 drops Vegeta.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Just let
those
you.
two are magnificent. I'm going to thank you again because these are very helpful. It helps me so much during my tests.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
So,
something I
yeah,
really like too with the dispo is if you get the Bulma Z card out, and
yeah,
you have to you take her, remove a card from game like that. In addition to the dispo, it essentially gives you like 5 more copies of each of the 1 drops.
yeah. Sure, sure.
Just having like all those extra ways to like keep consistently, because the leader draw on the front, it doesn't draw. It looks at the top 5, and then on the back it draws. But having Green's always suffered from not having a lot of card draw. But this is one of the few decks where you can sit there with 8, 10, 11 cards in hand sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And consider that some of the cards in your seed energy are also in your hand,
Yeah,
like the 6 drops Gogeta and Deku and Goku. Sorry. Yeah, that's good. And the secret rare for choice for this deck is the Cell. Just is you easily can bring it to the field with all the big bosses you have here.
yeah,
So I think it's the perfect choice.
yeah,
Not consistently to get to 5 energy, I think, but if you do, it's very good. Also, you don't need to get every time to 5 energy because you have some uh, double strike here
yeah,
and dual attack, so you are going to take life from your opponent. Maybe in turn 4, maybe you have an extra attack with this and the overrealm Broly.
yep.
You mostly going to cripple your opponent very very bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, said like the right on sale makes it a little like you don't really want to play it early on, but you can play it on like turn 2, turn 3. You don't get the discard, but it's still just a free 40k body to swing. If you
Yeah,
just happen to get your opponent down to 3 life on turn 3, turn 4, you can still slam cell Xeno, and you've got so many 6 drops and like so many 8s, and then the 4s. Like the math just adds up perfectly for this deck to want to play cell Xeno.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a perfect choice. All right, about the C deck, the C leader is something that I don't use every game. Sometimes I don't use it at all.
Yeah,
It's just for the. My philosophy is use it for the killing turn. Okay, the killing turn you awaken, and then you have one opportunity to remove one combo piece from your opponent that may they save their life. So it's the only thing that I use it for. Because you lost the draw. He doesn't draw by itself. He draws when you make a fusion
yeah,
or you evolve from energy. I think.
yeah. That's the
Um,
big downside to
it,
this.
it draws you a card. It draws you 2 cards. I think. Or it makes your opponent discard one.
Yes,
This I don't play this deck to hand destruction.
right.
Really, it's just to like a mid range with powerful
Yeah,
bombs.
yeah.
It's the
Like
way I play it.
when I first started playing the deck, I kept trying to turbo Z Awaken as quick as I could. But the biggest downside to this is it doesn't draw on swing, like you were saying there. But like in some games, if I'm just drawing dead, I will Z Awaken just because I get to see the extra card on swing. That way,
Yeah,
I can filter a little bit better. If I need to like dispo or I need to get a certain card into the drop, that kind of thing. Can do it that way. Which I was also before. I used to use it a lot more before the ruling got changed, and I would just use it just to pitch the 6 drop every time, and then be like, "Oh, 6 drop out, play the boss monster."
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. In the C deck, I also have the Bulma. It got surprisingly good.
Yes.
as I was testing it. Because at first I didn't like her very much. Let me tell you something. When I first saw this deck, I thought, man, this is too nerfed, man. This is too nerfed. Everything, the Gokus, you have to discard something.
Yeah.
The Bulma makes you discard something too. It's no, this get, could be so good if you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't trust Bulma so much, but as I was testing it, so sometimes you don't have the one drops in your hand, and they are so important. They are so important. So you get Bulma in board, you get your one drop Goku or Vegeta, and you start rolling. So this girl, man, I think I have it at three. I think
Yeah.
she's very important today.
Yeah, I'm also playing mine at 3. Like, she's super good, especially like with all the blue running around. I've had so many people that like on turn 1 they'll leave an energy up just so they're like, I'm gonna get rid of your one drop, and they'll be like, going into my turn 2, and I'll swing, and they'll be like, oh, bottom deck your one drop. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, Boma. I'm gonna replay the one drop.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay, the other cards, since this deck, the seed energy is especially for fusions and for maybe for decks as an emergency button or something.
yeah,
But your seed fusion is for your seed energy is for fusion and for evolving. So
yeah.
the seed energy is not really available for
Right.
seed stuff. So the other C cards are only like a emergency button. Like if I need to
Yeah.
get to 4 because some stalling deck is bugging me, so I have the Vegeta. If there is an annoying Unison, then I got the Jiren. Okay, 7 cards. I have Freezer, but
Yeah.
I really don't need Freezer in the deck just in case it doesn't hurt. Okay, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like you have 7 slots, you might as well fill them. Like
Yeah.
the Z leaders are given, and I feel like my list also. I run 3 of the Bulma, and the others. I think I'm on 2 Frieza, 1 Jiren. I didn't even put the Vegeta in this one, which may or may not have been like the right call there. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, like on mine, but these like I almost never, because like the Jiren's good. It removes, it can get rid of unisons, and like the Frieza's good. It can KO cards, but like the main deck just does all those things better for the most part. So yeah, if like my hand goes dry and I just need something to do with 2 energy, I mean I'll throw a Jiren out there or a Frieza just to have an
Sure.
extra attack.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for my list. I have like a tentative side deck, but I'm not good at siding, so it is something that maybe can come relevant for some matchups or something. But I really didn't make it gave so much thought to the side deck.
Like a lot of times I don't even like sharing my sideboard with people because mine changes so much. Like I'll play it like depending on what I think is going to be there, things like that. Like I might change 5, 6, 7, 8 cards out of my side deck like almost every time before I go to an event. So it's kind of like a free flow. There's some that like kind of mainstays, like like the Bigamores, because you're going to want to stop big scary things like the Yamchas, the Vegeta protecting his loved ones, things like that. The Majin Exterminators, if there's hand control, but it fluctuates so much that like I don't even like. I could tell you what my sideboard is now, but next week it'll be 8 cards different.
Totally get you.
Yeah.
So, what was your list?
So I've been messing around a little bit with mine. So mine's a little bit different. I have like the mainstays. I actually went down to 2 of the 3 cost Vegeta. I'm still running 2 of the Goku just to have a couple extra evolve targets. I wanted to keep my evolve targets at 8. It kind of might be a bad idea, but I'm testing at the moment. I went down to 3 of the Gogeta of the 6-drop Gogeta and 2 of the boss monster. Mainly because you're not going to play it as consistently because the Gogeta is a little bit harder to get into the Z energy now. But again, you have Vegeta, who if you need to, you can continue to recycle those 2 copies over and over. And also gave me some open spots for other little techie cards. Like I'm playing 2 of the Faded Rivals. Most of the time on turn 3, you most definitely want to drop this if you can. But if you don't, you can drop Goku. Or, if you need to, say there's a Vegeta or a Goku one drop in your Z energy, in your Z energy, and you can't find one anywhere else, you can Goku to put one back on the bottom so that you can then go into Bulma and search for it. I'm playing one of the Goku the Furious because it's just like a generically good green card. Once in a while, I just want to kind of push the crit pressure if my opponent's low on hand and down to the last few cards and things are getting a little hinky. I'm running 2 of the Dark Broly because the deck does go through a lot of cards, like a lot. So I feel like two's okay there. I'm on 2 of the Bulma. Being able to pitch and look for a Veku or Gogeta, which, I mean, in this deck I've only got 5 targets, so I think 2 is alright where it's at, but it does help me find the boss monster when I want to. I'm also on just the 1 copy of Surprise Attack because I wanted to trim the deck down a few cards earlier. And something I've been testing is the Energy of the Gods, Goku and Vegeta. So I like them because they're Gogeta, or they're Goku and Vegeta BRs, which means you can evolve your 4 drops on top of these because it targets a 3 cost or less. And like this Goku, if your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, it's a 1 cost. And then when you play it, you just draw a card. If you're not looking for anything specific, just to draw a couple extra cards. And then the Vegeta, when it's played, you get to KO cards adding up to 2 costs or less. And I was thinking like with other decks, like maybe in the Mirror or something like that, that's playing a bunch of 1 drops, or something like maybe Android 21 that's coming up. It's going to be playing a bunch of tokens and things like that. It's been pretty good. And also for the fact that in some games you just really, really want to apply the pressure. These are 15Ks that can actually attack as opposed to being a 5K that you have to dump a bunch of combo into. Not that the deck doesn't want to dump a bunch of combo because it wants to Z-charge, but like later on in the game, these could be actually relevant. On turn 5, being able to drop a couple extra 15K attackers, I think would be really good.
Something I like about those cards is that they actually cost 1.
Yep.
Right? Instead, the ones from the set, they actually cost 2 because you have to pay 1 for the 1 drop and then have to pay 1 for X-Ball. So
exactly,
they're a good option.
So if you really wanted to, if you just wanted to draw, you could just drop these and, play it, draw a card. And then swing with a 15K.
Sure.
Again, like I'm also playing Celzino because, it's just, I think it's hands down the best option for the deck. I'm sure people could argue Cell Max, but, just being able to be that free 40K quad on turn 5. But again, like I said, Cell Max could be argued that it could be better because you can just play it for 1, because this deck's going to go to turn 3 and turn 4 almost every game. I think the other big difference between ours is I went with an extra negate instead of like the focus breakthrough that you did, and I'm on a full 4 copies of the Whis' Capriciousness. Just because, I'm a heavy green player at heart, so the more floodgates I have, the better. Like, this is the only, like, one of the few decks that I play that don't have Dormant in it, so it makes me feel bad. So I was like, I gotta play this at 4. But other than that, like, I think our lists are super, super similar. I think you're, like, 2 cards less than I am, which is probably because I wanted to play this cheeky stuff. It may work, it may not. I might cut it later. And then my Z deck, again, like I said, it's pretty similar. I end up deciding to go with the 2 Frieza because once in a while you just want to make your opponent discard a card. If they get down low and you just want to make their decisions harder, especially again like on that kill turn when you're going to drop Celzino on turn 5. If you drop Frieza, swing with your boss monster, make him discard a card, and then drop Celzino, make him discard 3 more. Could just potentially put them in a position where they have to make bad decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like I think the list should be pretty standard for most people. Like you're going to go 4 and 4 on the 1 drops. If you want to play the Goku, you can. But honestly, like your list with just Vegetas, I think is perfectly fine. I just wanted to play a couple of the Gokus because if something happens and I can find Goku, but I can't find Vegeta, I want to still get that consistent card draw every single turn.
So. Yeah, I think if you count as evolved targets, I think we're similar, right?
Yeah, I think I've got 8, and yeah, you got
Eight.
4 and 4 on the split on the Vegetas there, and I've just got a couple Gokus just because that way the Goku is more than just like a one drop that searches top 5.
Yeah,
Gives it a little more utility other than just sitting there after I play it on turn 1.
yeah. Got it, got it.
Yeah, just to try and add a little bit more consistency to the deck. But yeah, I think like mostly what's here on this top row is like standard you have to play. Like
The core.
you're gonna play all these cards 100%, and then the rest of this is all just your choices. I mean the super combo could be argued, but having a searchable super combo, like off the Bulma and stuff like that, like I don't see how you would play anything else. Plus, if you're gonna play this tech, having like you said, having 7 super combos in the deck, never bad. Never bad.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I haven't tried the Grace Diamond, you know,
Yeah.
the bottom one, drop two. I haven't tried it yet because I saw this and I think this deck creates a C energy. You have this super combo life barrier.
Yeah. When I first started, I was on a 2-2 split of the Gogeta and the Great Saiyaman, and after like 2 or 3 games, I was like, it's got to be Gogeta all the way, because on top of the fact that it's already just a 10k for free on turn 1 if you want it to be, it's live on turn 2 and you can keep yourself at 6 life. You're not forced to go down to 4 just to put your super combos online, because usually by turn 2 you're gonna have 2 or more Z energy or a Z battle card in play.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
there's never been a time where I wanted to super combo and it wasn't live.
Yeah, it's easy to get your awaken on turn two with this deck
Oh yeah,
because you have so many searchable things like your leader search, your one drop search. So it's you're not gonna miss it. You have to be very unlucky sometimes.
very unlucky.
Yeah. But it's one of those days, you know, when the
Yeah.
moon is blue or something.
Yeah, because like as long as you see one of the one drops and one of these guys, or maybe even find one of these, and you go to drop this on turn 2, that will also trigger your leader to awaken.
Nice.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
no, that's wrong because it's only on EX of all skill. But either way, like you've got 8 one drop targets, you've got 8 of all targets. My deck's actually got 12 of the lower targets that they can evolve onto. So you're gonna see it. Like I've not had a game where I could evolve or could awaken on turn 2 and I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, everything you search everything.
Yeah, yeah. Most everything in the deck is searchable for the.
Yeah, for sure.
So, how's your matchup so far felt with the deck? Is there anything that you felt like was just like a really bad matchup, or like certain stuff that's just like you're gonna beat this deck every time?
Well, if the meta was green, this deck would be the king. Because the boss monster can be KO. And green all it does is KO.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or yellow also KOs. So this man here, this Gogeta, is gonna be king in a green yellow meta.
Yeah.
I can assure you that. But we are in a red blue meta, and those things, bottom things, next things, so things are gonna die. It's the only thing. So against meta decks like this virus, I have fights against virus, against Sing. What else? What else? Okay, those are the ones I remember. Those are very bad for me.
Yeah.
Blue,
I think
cautious.
this deck has a little bit of a rough matchup with blue because you play so many 4 cost or less cards, so it's really easy for them to just bottom deck your stuff over and over and over. So like that's a bit rough. But that's why like one of the cards I know it's really good to have in the Z energy because it's both the Goku and the Vegeta BR that you need. But I love just like slamming this card over and over and over. Like after turn 3, like I'm gonna slam this card every time that I can. Because it's a double strike. When you play it, it's a 20k, and it KOs on the 6 cost or less, and you draw a card. Like that's four things that they can do right off that, and for one energy.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That is a very, very flexible card. It's one of the must-have tool of this deck.
Yeah,
I mainly use it for fusion, but as I've been
yeah,
playing, sometimes I rather play this than the fusion one
yeah,
because this is a two double strike that I always forget. I don't know why, but I always forget this dude is double strike.
yeah,
So when I realized, okay, I count the lives of my opponent, I got this double strike, the other Gogeta is double strike, okay, that's 4 damage, I got this.
yeah. Oh,
But sometimes I always forgot that he's double strike. But those Vegeta and Goku 6 drop those are very very good. You have
oh
to
yeah,
play it.
and
Sometimes
definitely
you depends
again like
on the game you play it or you use it for fusion.
yeah. And again, like it's so easy to find because you find it off the leader when it slings. You can find it off Vegeta. You find it off Goku. Like it's. I said like it. These are probably one of my favorite cards to play in the deck because of how easy it is to play and how much it does. So like usually going into turn three, like unless I have this, and boss monster in hand, like I'm definitely just slamming a Goku Vegeta
Definitely, most definitely.
because
Yeah.
like I
Example,
feel
you have
like
a use a book. You have a book. They already taken the -1 because they took care of your Gogeta.
yep.
You slam this one and you removing the other markers with this Goku Vegeta 6 drop.
I think if blue continues to be, I think it's in the upcoming format. It's got the potential to become even more prevalent than it was before in the previous one. I think I would probably side deck a couple of the Gohan SGRs against blue, so just to kill Boo Unison. Because I
Yeah,
think you could easily just slip two of those in here. Maybe cut whatever, trim something. But for the most part, I think the deck is aggressive enough that it shouldn't have a ton of problem against a lot of decks. But I think the biggest problem probably be against yellow because you're wanting to get to like turn three, turn four, and that's kind of where yellow starts to thrive really well. Is like turn three, turn four. That's when they can start doing a lot of their weird, funky stuff and controlling the board pretty well. But I think a lot of that's just going to come down to sequencing properly and who's on the play and how much pressure you can put in the early turns.
definitely, definitely. That's why I love the Frieza and this Celestino because those are free.
Yeah,
The thing with Cell Max is it costs one energy. One energy in this deck is huge. It's
yeah.
a lot because it's half a fusion, is one evolve, is you need one energy for everything you have in this deck.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'll stand by the fact that I think Cellmax is probably top three best green SCRs. Like it's a great SCR. It might be the best green SCR there is
Yeah,
for certain decks, but I think for this deck specifically, I think Cell Xeno is the way to go.
definitely. Most definitely.
I said like I thought about testing it, but every time I think about it, I'm like I can just slam Cell Xeno. I'm gonna go to turn five anyway. I'm just slam this on turn five for free.
Yeah, it's so good when that turn you play your Gujiras, you play your overround, and
Yeah.
maybe you kill their token negate, and you play the freezer, and on top of that you play Celcino,
Oh
game
yeah.
over.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like, I mean, if you can set it up, going into turn five, if you got, one of these or something like that, some kind of evolved target going into turn five, you can go, one energy, two energy, so you're up to three. Use the fourth energy for something like this. Evolve, on top of one of these into one of these. That's your last energy. Draw you a couple extra cards, and then that's attack, attack, double strike attack, dual attack, double strike, attack from one of your one drops or whatever you need to, and then Dark Broly and then Cell Xeno. Like you're getting like 8 attacks off, not
Yeah,
counting what's already on your board. Like you can go pretty ham on turn five with this deck.
yeah. It's something magnificent because I remember I had this like this turn where Virus has like 15 energy,
Yeah.
so I kill him or I die,
Yeah.
right? And I have like 5 energy, I think, and I did so much. I can't believe how many plays I did. I played in one drop. I think they bottom it with something. I played in Bulma, played again. I did so many things, man. But Virus had so much defense that I couldn't do anything. But oh, I don't remember how, but I did a lot of things in my turn.
Oh yeah, like the deck, like it's very energy hungry because it wants to do a lot, but you're getting such good value off every energy that
Yeah,
you spend.
yeah,
Like even like say like the Vegeta, you know, you spend one energy, you evolve, you draw here, you also draw off leader, and you KO a 4 cost or less. You know, that's pay one, draw two, KO something. That's pretty good. The Goku, depending on how much they're interacting with your one drop stuff like that. Same thing. You pay one, draw off him, draw off leader, and then you bounce a one drop back to the field. Because
yeah,
even if you don't have a one drop out, even if you just want to use it for evolve, even if you can't attack with it, that's an extra card you can draw that turn. Because every time you play one of these guys, draw a card. And
yeah.
that's the beauty of like this. Like it almost feels in a lot of weird ways. I hope Bandai doesn't listen, but this kind of feels like a red deck because every card you play draws you a card. Like
Yeah,
play the Goku and Vegeta, draw a card. Play Gogeta, draw a card. Play Gogeta, draw a card. Everything in the deck draws you a card when it's played. It's crazy. Like it really does
yeah,
almost. It feels like a red deck.
yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I think I understand why they nerf those Gokus and the Bulmas.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
But
'Cause,
was it too hard to have the one drops with barrier? Was it too hard?
I mean,
Because if they had barrier, you can play them in turn one and you can be relaxed. You don't have to worry about them gone for turn two when it's your awakened turn. But sometimes they get rid of those two.
honestly, I think the reason why the Goku and Vegeta don't have barrier is because deck like this could probably dominate if you could not interact with the one drops. Like if there was no way to remove these one drops, this deck would be crazy overpowered, I think. Because the only way to slow this down, like I tested this like pretty consistently against a buddy of mine that plays Gamma, and that's all he focuses on in Gamma is like not let me establish a one drop. He's like, that's the only way that I can stop you from just smashing my teeth in on like turn 4 and turn 5. You cannot have a one drop on the field.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But anyway, let's see. Let's see next format. I truly hope that green is gonna get really good next set.
I think it could be.
I don't know because we have red, then we have some blue. Blue got really good despite we still having red scene and Gogeta GT.
Yeah, and
So I guess Bandai is going to push green to the meta environment.
I think
It's a hunch. It's a hunch.
I think Green could honestly be a contender. Like I've been telling everybody, like that would listen to me, that 2023, like the road to nationals is going to be paved in green. I will make sure that every single event that comes up, as long as like work or family stuff doesn't tow, I'm going to be attending with a green deck. It might not be the same one every time, but there will be a green deck fighting there every time. Um, and I think that this like really does have the potential to be one of those that could stand up to the meta.
Yeah, yeah. One thing is coming up, and it's going to be yellow because Trunks Gita with the
Just
new
got
dash
a
back.
it got a lot
Oh,
of good support. Like
oh,
those.
man.
But I like how they're also trying to push Trunks Jita into playing the boss monster that's designed for the deck. But being able to drop that double striker and then your Z leader restands it, so they're going to get a dual attack double strike. I think it's double strike or crit or something like that for the boss monster.
The
But
Acre
yeah,
is triple sky.
triple strike. That's right. Yeah, so they're going to get a dual attack triple strike boss monster now. Like how do
And
you?
quit. I think he's quit.
I
He's
think
also quit.
I think you're right. Yeah, like how do you pass that up? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Like you basically just gave them the Sin boss monster.
Yeah. Uh, but you know what? The removal is by KO,
Yep.
and the Gogeta can be KO. So
Yep.
that Gogeta has some edge against them.
Yeah.
The thing is, they are going to rest with the Trunks, yeah, granted, but they can be KO. So if you have to, you can manage with some free play from maybe the over realm or maybe the Frieza.
Yeah.
You can skip that Trunks effect and you go to town with the Gogetas, the boss monsters.
Well, that's actually something like you're talking about the repose and things like that. I'll spill a little secret of what I've been like testing and training lately with is not trying to figure out like when and where to like to push into floodgates. Is I've been waiting for my opponents to play a floodgate, and every time they play it, I just continue to push in just to see if the deck can fight through a floodgate, because so many players will think, all right, I've got this Riposte, I've got this Oceanus, I've got this floodgate, whatever, with the exception of Dormant, because Dormant just says, I don't care.
Yeah.
Except for the mirror, I've been practicing more and more, just pushing into the floodgates as hard as I can to see if I can still win. Does the deck have potential to win through a floodgate? If my opponent floodgates me every turn, can I continue to push and still, win the game?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know what you mean because I do that. I like this Gohan baby's minion.
Yes.
I tap three for Gohan to play, and I think okay, I tapped out, but I know he's not going to tag, but they attack and I lose.
Yep. That's one of those things is like, your opponents just, they feel safe. They're like, I'm going to slam this floodgate, and it's just going to be dumb for them to push into it. Be like, I mean, I play green. I'm not smart anyway. I'll do the dumb thing. I'm just going to keep pushing. Just keep turning cards sideways. See what happens.
All right.
You hold
Thanks
up a
for the
recent
tip.
capriciousness, or you hold up a dormant. Be like, all I got to do is have these two cards in my hand. When go back to your turn, and you're not going to kill me anyway. So I'm just going to keep punching in.
Yeah. Thanks for the tip.
I mean, especially like with this Gogeta, like, all you got to do is like, you don't even have to draw one of these off the top. If you draw an evolve target off the top, you play Bulma from the Z energy. If you go into your turn with 0 cards in hand, you can potentially draw 4 or 5 cards in a turn with this deck. Like I said, you play Bulma, go grab a 1-drop, play whatever evolve target. Okay, I'm going to draw 2. Play one of these guys from the Z energy. I'm going to draw another one, and I'm going to play this from the Z energy too. I'm going to draw another card. Hello.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You have so many options.
Yep.
If you have enough energy to do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, like overall, like this is definitely because it was more gimmicky. I almost wanted to try and play the Broly BR deck a little bit more than this, but like as soon as I played this for the first time, I was like, I think this is my favorite deck this format. Like this deck is awesome. I really like it.
Yeah, no, it's really good, really fun. One question, you mentioned earlier the Green Gohan GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
The SGR.
SGR.
Yeah.
SGR, yes. But you don't have it. Neither do I. Why don't you have it right now?
Right now, I have it in the sideboard. I don't have it in the main deck because, honestly, like for the most part, I'm not worried about most decks that have a unison. The only time I would want to see it, I think, is against Boo. So that's why I feel like if I only want it in the main deck to stop one specific card, I don't want to main board it. I want to sideboard it. But if I go into an event that's best of one, I'm most definitely going to put like 2 of the SGR in the deck because it's such a great card overall. Being able to just pay 1 energy, remove 3 markers is huge. But for now, I only have it. I mean, I don't have a sideboard set up on Deck Planet, but it's a sideboard card for me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You know why I don't have it?
Because you don't own one?
You want to know the reason?
You don't have it?
Because it's, I don't have it, and not even in the Deck Planet list because it's too expensive.
1 energy too expensive?
I always build my decks in the budget options with the cheapest options possible.
I, I
Because
mean,
I know if I decide to build this deck for real, I don't have it right now, but I really thinking about it to buy all these cards.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think what is it like?
but
Deck Planet shows that the list that you put together is like $60, SCR included. Like that's crazy. And
yeah,
if you decide you want to build this deck on paper, you let me know because I built the deck all in non-foil, and then I liked it so much I foiled the whole thing out. So I've got pretty much the entire core non-foil. I'll send you if you decide you want to play it
yeah,
in paper in an event. I don't have enough
all
to
right,
sell
yeah.
Xeno. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But
Oh, this deck you want to have this deck all foiled because these cards are very beautiful, are
oh
very
yeah, they
catchy to the
really
eye.
are. Like I still think like where's it at? It's obviously gonna be way in the back. Like the Gogeta Limits Broken. That's a beautiful card. Like that is a
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful card.
yeah. I've seen the SPR and the SR.
Yeah.
Any of those two is beautiful. You can have it, the SR or the SPR. Any of those two
Oh
is
yeah.
good. It's great.
Absolutely. They're definitely, definitely beautiful cards.
Yeah.
All right. Well, was there anything else you wanted to throw in or mention before we cut this one out?
Um, no, not for me. Just one tip that I share with you. I think on Facebook or on the Messenger. I don't know that the four drop. I played a four drop Vegeta, right?
Yeah.
That only use something. Normally, I after I play it, I combo it. I
Yeah.
combo it to put it back in my set energy, and then have another evolve target for maybe next turn or something. That way, I can trigger my leader because if you X evolve from energy, you draw a card.
Right.
So it's something I like to do. I rather attack with the big bosses and use the four drop just for triggering my leader, and of course drawing a card is very nice. KOing a thing is very nice, and after that, okay, your job is done. Go back to
So do
like
you?
like a pop.
So do you usually not really attack much on the first couple turns, and you just kind of wait until like turn 3, turn 4 to start swinging in?
Yeah, I like to attack with the crit. I'm a crit man. I like
Gotcha.
to crit the guy because I don't want to give them cards when I play green. When I play green, I want to. That's why I love this precise surprise attack because
Yeah.
it's great. It's free. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, like I said, like the fact that this guy's like deflect critical is super big. Honestly, depending on what deck I played against, I was considering, sideboarding 2 more of these in, like against those matchups like blue and yellow that want to counterplay a lot of my stuff. Just deflect, deflect, deflect. And plus, again, like you said, like that critical could be huge. And again, you don't lose anything because you're still drawing 2 cards every time you play one.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. That's such a great card.
It is. Like there's tons of good cards in this deck. But like I said, I'm going to continue to play it, and I probably, I'm always tweaking something. I'm always changing a ratio or trying out a new card, see what works. But right now, this has been pretty consistently my list, and it's worked out pretty damn well.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Something I like, or it's making me fall in love more and more with this deck is that I'm winning to decks that I never win before. Like this Mechikabura, I think things that made me always cry was Mechikabura, this cooler Unison deck,
Yeah.
the green one. Those were really traumatic for me. I never win, not with King Vegeta, not win with my SS4 Ram deck. I always lost to that. But with this Gogeta, I win. So I really love it for that.
And I think for like a lot of people that are just getting into the game and stuff like that, they're looking for like a cheap deck that they can get in and they can actually, put up some W's with, like, I think this is a good option. And it's fun, it's got Goku and Vegeta in it. It's iconic. It's got Gogeta. It's got all the coolest characters in there.
Totally, totally. And you can see the evolution, like just like in the movie. You start with they in the base form.
Yep.
They go to Super Saiyan. They go to God Super Saiyan. They turn blue. They make the fusion. So you practically see the movie with this deck.
Exactly. You're just rewatching the movie every time you play the deck. You got.
Yeah, man.
All right. Look, I know we've been planning on trying to do this for a little while. I'm glad we finally got a chance to sit down and get it knocked out. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight and getting all this done.
Anytime, my bro.
But yeah, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about anything we said, just let us know in the comments. I know Nino is always like snooping around and creeping in my comment section on YouTube, so he'll see it if you mention him or me. We'll answer any questions you got. But I think that's going to be it, and you guys have a good night.